the strategic significance or serious discussions, there was also an enthusiastic Indian diaspora that chose to welcome Prime Minister Modi with more than, as the usual, seen enthusiasm and ensure that it may not be a big developed country where the diaspora is, but they leave a print and ensure that Prime Minister Modi gets a rousing welcome. Here are some of the members of the diaspora speaking.
हम लोग सब मोदी जी से बहुत प्यार करते हैं इंडिया में, वो बहुत अच्छी बात है। बट इंडोनेशिया में भी कभी बहुत बार ऐसा हुआ है, किसी टैक्सी में किसी कैब में बैठी हूँ और ड्राइवर हमसे पूछ रहा है कि आपका देश में बहुत प्रोग्रेस कर रहा है ना बिकॉज ऑफ मोदी जी। वो हमें बहुत एक प्राउड फील करा रहा है कि अभी मोदी जी की वजह से हमारा नेशन हर जगह पे वेल नोन हो रहा है।
साहब से मुलाकात हुई, हम उनसे मिलके जितना खुश हुए उससे बहुत ही ज्यादा वो हमसे मिलके खुश हो रहे हैं और सो एनर्जी और बेस्ट ऑफ लक फॉर इंडियंस एंड भारतीय। हम बहुत खुशी है, आप देख रहे हैं इतना उल्लास और इतनी खुशी यहाँ पे तमाम इंडियन डायस्पोरा के बीच में और वी विश बेस्ट फॉर इंडिया।
So these are some of the reactions and reflecting the diversity of India in Indonesia. I want to go back now to our colleague Geeta Mohan, because she's also telling us, remember, about the perspective of it. Geeta, you know, we're talking about G20 summit that has a lot of full security setup that has been made, a lot of excitement for it. But a day before, Prime Minister Modi ensures he goes to Indonesia. Why do you think that it is important for India right now, more than the developed nations, to have a strong relationship with the Southeast nations as well?
Well, it is because, like Prime Minister Modi just now spoke, and he spoke about how the epicenter of growth is ASEAN. And like we were just discussing, the fact that ASEAN is an important region, the growth story is shifting. It's shifting from China. And when we talk about a resilient supply chain, what are the countries, which are the countries that the West is looking to invest in manufacturing so that supply chains move from China? Apart from looking at India, Vietnam, a very important competitor in the region, has come up as a huge alternative. Philippines, Malaysia. We're looking at very important countries where a lot of the business might shift in times to come. So engaging, and last year calling the day an ASEAN-India Friendship Day and marking it with comprehensive strategic partnership. Now continuing with that, when the Prime Minister speaks about how ASEAN has become the epicenter of growth, clearly shows that the emerging economies don't just lie in West Asia, or for that matter in the Arab world and Africa. They certainly lie in East Asia and Southeast Asia. And in Southeast Asia, the emerging economies have become tough competitors when it comes to manufacturing and being a important part of the global supply chain.
Geeta, I can't help but notice when the joint photo opportunity was being done, this was not the usual boring protocol of a setup. It looked like the island has come inside in a diplomatic zone, and it looked absolutely beautiful, but also signifying the sort of heritage culture that Indonesia is known for. And this was clearly an innovative setup compared to all that we have seen in the past few years.
Well, Indonesia has been one of those countries way ahead of others when it comes to a display of culture.
Correct.
You see, quite a few of the ministers are actually wearing the batik shirts from Indonesia. Quite a few of them are, even during the Bali summit we saw, were not just wearing batik shirts, but the entire atmosphere, the ambience of and the setting of the summits in Indonesia are unique. They try to display their culture, their tradition, the colors of Indonesia, and you're seeing that this time around at the ASEAN summit as well, and the India-ASEAN summit. So it is very clear that Indonesia is one of those countries that is going to display and its culture, and be very proud of it in how they do it. Not just a unique way of doing it, and certainly not the first time.
Geeta, I request you to stay on, because there was one child who was actually singing an Uttarakhandi, a hill state song. Let's dip into that. All right, so these are the visuals on one side. Of course, the protocol of receiving Prime Minister Modi, the President of Indonesia, an important India-ASEAN summit where Prime Minister Modi spoke about the Bharat-ASEAN friendship. On the other, the diaspora of Indonesia giving him a rousing welcome.
It was really a very thrilling experience for all of us, especially all these Indonesian girls. They were so excited to meet him and they danced for him. मेरे घर राम आए. You know, it is their, like इनका घर है और इनके घर पे आज राम का आगमन हुआ है, so they are very happy.